my back was pushed against the wall. If I lose this fight, and I had 4 fights left after that, and they're $1 million fights, each one of them. Yeah. And if I would have lost that fight, I would have lost 4 fights. And I remember Michael Bisping was doing the Ultimate Fighter, and I went to go talk with Michael Bisping, and he kind of coached some of the guys, and they're all telling me, Tito, man, do the grave digger thing for us. Show them how you do it. I'm like, you guys could watch on Saturday night. And all of them looked at me like, okay, yeah, really.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, sure. You're not going to beat Bader. I go, watch, guys, I'm going to beat him. Once again, that's a manifestation that I had in my mind. I saw my hand being raised.
Yeah.
I visualized walking out, first punch being thrown, me catching him, and another punch, catching him in submission. And that's exactly how the fight went down.
Nice.
Oh,
man.
I remember getting him a guillotine. I remember just thinking in my mind, here's your opportunity. You got to win right now. And squeezing as hard as I possibly could. It was like that lion who hasn't eaten all year.
Oh, yeah.
And here's my opportunity to feed. And I was like, and I didn't let go. And all of a sudden, McCarthy grabbed me from under the neck and pulled my head off. And I realized, oh yeah, I got to let go.
Nice.
And I let go. And first thing that popped in my head is remember those kids in the Ultimate Fighter going, Tito, do the grave digger. And when I dug the grave for that fight, I did it with such aggression, such emotion, just that proud feeling. And I was willing to sacrifice everything in my body, my power, and my mind to make sure I get the win.
Come out from the past, living in the future I created. Now, own an air minute, I'm in at a G. My NFT drop, you with that energy, stop. At all costs, I will protect funeral line the effect from the blast that I emit. I don't miss. I'm unfolding. Is rise up, king. I'd rather build or destroy.
Thank you for watching and listening to the Joe Pavich podcast. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Above and Beyond Painting, Edwards Contracting Group, and First Source Title. Today, I got a pioneer in the UFC. He held the title for 1,260 days, which is nuts. Almost 5 years as a defending champ. UFC Hall of Famer. 20 plus years in the UFC. Man, it's insane. The Huntington Beach bad boy. We know him, Tito Ortiz. What's up, man?
Joe, how you doing, brother?
Good to
pleasure.
see you, bro.
Thanks for having me here, Joe.
Thanks for coming.
Yes, of course.
You know, it's funny, as I watch a million of your videos through the years, you know, the Howard Stern show, the Joe Rogan show, and then you're moving up the ladder. Now you're on the Joe Pavich podcast.
Yeah,
so
right?
What can I say? No, I'm just kidding. That's a
it's
joke.
All good.
But, you know, it's not your average show because, you know, growing up, man, I mean, just a huge fan. I watched you, you know, in the earlier tournament style UFC. I think it was your last fight at the tournament style, and then everything moved. I think that was UFC 13, right?
Yep.
And then it all started to turn, I think in 17, it turned into a regular thing.
Yeah.
But, man, we had the parties at my house. You know, I tell all my friends, sometimes we missed the fight, and we had to go the next day and watch it again, like on replay. And I'd say, dude, I don't want to hear anything. I want to find out who the winners are tonight.
Right,
you know?
right.
So it's kind of cool. Kind of cool watching.
You got the excitement of it, so I agree.
Great. Always watching it for the first time. But, you know, it's kind of cool because, you know, it's really a legend out there, and I've always watched you, and it's just cool to have you here with me today, man. I mean,
Thank you.
And life is interesting because I'm sure it's that way for you too. Because growing up, I mean, you have those legends for you that when you became who you were, now you're around these guys, right?
Yeah.
So you feel how I feel when you're around those guys, right?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, the crazy how life turns, you know.
Yeah.
Just recently, you know, we lost a legend, you know, a true pioneer of professional wrestling, you know,
Yeah.
Terry Hulk Hogan. I was not super close with him, but I was close enough to know him personally.
Sure.
Him and his family, and the loss of that was heartbreaking for me. I mean, I was a guy who, I walked into the wrestling room at the high school going, where's the ring at? Because that's what I thought that wrestling was.
Yeah.
But I understood that I could find the happy medium between wrestling and professional boxing, as Muhammad Ali did in UFC. I could do something well with it.
Yeah.
And becoming the first, or becoming a middleweight champion, becoming a light heavyweight champion, the first light heavyweight champion, being the first 2 title holder for UFC. It was just a dream. Everything just became surreal.
Yeah.
And through my career, you know, in the beginning, I'll go back to 1994 and watching Hulk Hogan walk across PCH in Huntington Beach for Bash at the Beach and going, Mr. Hogan, and him turning around going, yeah, brother, what's up? And shaking his hand and going, you're a scrappy kid. I was like, I wrestle because of you. He's all, work hard, say your prayers, take your vitamins, and you'll be champion.
Yeah.
Well, fast forward 10 years later, and I was the world champion. And him calling me out going, Tito Ortiz, come here.
Yeah.
And just to have that fulfillment of knowing that I made it.
Yeah.
Like, people recognize me for me being the champion.
Guys like that. I mean, that's crazy.
And people think of professional wrestling as being fake. I disagree. In the beginning, I kind of thought of that because that's what people told me. Until I went and I trained and I went and did it. I went to Orlando and I went to the training center. And man, it's like Division I wrestling. Exactly. I mean, these guys are doing flips, slams. I mean, none of that stuff's fake. It's hard on the body.
Yeah, for sure.
It was brutal. I did it for 2 weeks. I learned really quick. I worked with Norman Smiley, who was one of the trainers there. He's like, Tito, you can catch on to this stuff really, really quick. But this is right before COVID. Then COVID happened, and then I didn't hear anything back.
Yeah.
But business went through a whole transition. UFC got connected with them more, and they got Brock Lesnar aboard, and Dana and Vince McMahon, they talked, and all of a sudden I got cut out of the picture. But it's fine. You know, everything comes full circle. You know, maybe it just, for me, for my body at the time, all the surgeries I've had, it probably would have damaged me even more.
Yeah, sure.
But I would have loved to dabble into it a little bit, but I got an opportunity to do it with TNA Wrestling.
Okay, yeah.
And then I think that was the last time I got to sit down and speak with Hogan in his dressing room for like 3 hours. And just the correlation of stuff of our careers were pretty much mimics almost.
Yeah.
The way Vince treated Hogan compared to the way Dana treated me.
Yeah.
The relationships we were with, a separate relationship, him and his wife, me and my girlfriend at the time. It just made sense that I was in the right place at the right time with the right person to correlate with things that I went through life, knowing that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not going through the problems I'm going through alone.
For sure.
People have the same problems too.
Yeah, 100%.
And a lot of my fans have the same situation. You know, I did a testimony at Cape Christian here in Cape Coral, and I just talked about my life, how I grew up, how hard it was, and becoming a world champion, how hard it was, to being a father, how hard it was.
Sure.
And a lot of people came to my restaurant at Tito's Cantina and were like, Tito, I don't feel alone. So I think God has really graced me with talent and skill, but at the same time to live a story to make people understand that a lot of us are the same. We all go through the same problems, and we can make it through. You know, with the glory of God, of course. You know, I got baptized last year, and life has changed for me, man. It just gets better and better and better, and I'm very thankful.
That's awesome, man. I love to hear that, and it's cool, and that's the part of the podcast. Really, is that we're all humans.
Yes.
We all sit down. We all have the same struggles. I mean, there's a young guy came to me the other day. I went to 7-Eleven, and he said, Joe Pavich, man. He says, you know, I look up to you, man. I like what you're doing out there. And he says, you inspire me, which I thought was cool. And I said to him, man, that's really cool to hear. And there was nobody behind me, so now I could just chat with this guy. I said, how old are you? He says, I'm 29, and I'm 50. How old are you, Tito?
I'm 52.
Yeah.
50.
You look
50
great.
also.
Look great for your age.
You too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I said to him, man, 29 years old. I said, the world's yours. I said, you could do whatever you want to do. I said, what do you like to do? He says, well, I'm good at handyman type stuff. I can mow lawns. I can do handyman work, but I want to get my real estate license. I said, well, the key is to find something you love to do. And if you love to do it long enough, you could pick something you could do forever, but the world's yours, man. You're 29 years old. And I said, that's cool hearing it from you because I'm 21 years older than you.
Right.
And I said, I've been through that. And when I was 29, I wasn't doing nothing. Oh. So I said, man, it's yours. And he said, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that. But we're all humans. We all have things that we deal with, struggles. I mean, kids and life and work-life mix, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a challenge, and that's how I always thought of it, you know, as a challenge from God, what type of character I am, you know, what type of personality that I could hold for myself.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I had to look in the mirror. I had to be responsible for my actions and things I did.
Sure.
Because I got run down the wrong way easily.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was young before wrestling, you know, I was hanging around a lot of wrong guys, and it was an opportunity that I met somebody, and he was like, Tito, show me your 5 friends, and I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
That's when I came to realize that I got to watch who I hang out with. And
yeah, you're right.
When I was in high school, my junior year wrestling, and 2 of my friends I was hanging out with, they told me to come with them to go do a drop-off. They're going to drop off a couple duffel bags. They said I'd make $300. It's going to take about maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And I had wrestling practice the next day, and I had to get up early to cut weight. I was like, no, I can't do it. I have wrestling. I can't do it.
Sure.
Well, my true name is Jacob. And in the Bible, Jacob wrestling against an angel beat him and saves his life because of wrestling. I made the decision not to go with them, and I didn't. Both of them did 25 years to life in prison.
Talk about dodging a bullet there and just making the right decisions. I mean,
making the right decision.
Or getting in that car where the kids. I mean, I get the chills thinking about it, you know. Yeah. It's like with kids, man. You really push. I push the kids all the time to tell them, hey, just be careful. You know, I want you to be in charge, not make those wrong decisions. Yeah.
Be the leaders. I have 3 boys. My oldest son, Jacob's at Arizona State University. He's finished his senior year. Then my twin boys, Jesse and Journey, are at Ida Baker High School. They wrestle. They're in advanced classes. They're smart kids. But once again, it's just the kids they hang out with. And we've been living here for almost 3 years in Cape Coral. Yeah. And it's just watch the kids you hang out with. Because I show them, I go, those kids right there, they're burnout kids. Yeah. Those kids are going to lead you down the wrong way.
100%. Parents know. Isn't that crazy? Your parents know.
I went through it. Yeah. I did it. I was that kid, but wrestling guided me the right way, which I was very fortunate. But at the same time, it was just like, I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be with the cool kids. And I came to realize that I was the cool kid. I didn't have to fit in. Yeah. And I think it took to my junior year to figure that out. When it was 25 to life or be free, that was a huge decision for me, man. I was just, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that wrestling saved me. It did. It saved me. It literally saved my life, literally.
That's awesome, man. And I remember my parents telling me, Joe, you're not hanging around with Eric. And I'd be like, well, Eric's cool because Eric's mom worked late. She didn't care. We could sneak out. We could do shit. I mean, I'm not talking bad stuff. Sneak out and be idiots and maybe just feel like we were free. But she didn't like him because of what went on. The mom got arrested. She knew about that. The kid was a thief too. I'll tell you a funny story about that. So my friend Eric would steal things. Everywhere he went, he'd always steal. He never stole from me because I was his friend, but he stole from everybody else. And he went to my neighbor's house one time and he stole $100 from this kid. And this is back in 1987, $100.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money, right? Yeah. So they caught him, and the police went to his door, and he said, I must have had a piece of gum on my shoe, and I must have stepped on the $100 bill, and I walked away with it, not realizing I had it. It was the craziest lie ever, But your parents know, man. It's all about raising the kids right.
No, for sure.
And it had to be hard for you. And these are things I like to talk about. Is your kids are at the age now where you were fighting. You were fighting when they were babies, right?
Yes.
So as a dad, traveling and fighting and managing, being at fights, and I know you had a training camp as well, but there's probably a little bit of loss there too, feeling like I wish I would have been around more as a kid.
Well, my oldest, 100%, and it eats me up every day, even to this day, and he don't talk to me that much. I don't know if it's that or if it's his mom. We got a divorce when he was 4, just because we fought all the time, and I didn't want to fight in front of him. I turned into a different person when I got into my fight career. It was strictly fight.
Sure, you had to.
I wanted to make money. I mean, I didn't want to be broke. I mean, this is coming from a broken home already myself. Yeah. My mother and father were heroin addicts. My mother got sober when I was 13. My father sticked and he chose drugs over me. It was one of those situations that I didn't want to replicate time again that I already lived through. Yeah. So I made sure, my ex-wife, Kristen, amazing mother. Yeah. I just was away all the time training. I was in training camp and I became the world champion. I mean, I'm in camp 4 months, 3 times a year. I mean, I come home for a week or 2, then I go back out to training camp, come back for a couple week or 2, and I missed out on a lot of his life. But after we did divorce, I mean, he'd come and see me, every other week, every other month, he'd come and see me, and I just would miss out a lot of times. I didn't get to be there when he rode his first bike. Sure. Little small things like that, just kind of heartbreaking. Yeah. I mean, I'm thankful I was there for his graduation. Sure. My dad was there for my graduation, but little small things like that I regret, and I'm able to fulfill that with my boys right now, my twin boys. And I don't know if my oldest holds it against me because he's like, Dad, you do it with them, but you weren't able to do it with me. But he can understand. I want to give him everything I never had. I want to make sure he had security. I want to make sure that he had clothes on his back, his college paid for, his, all his tuition paid for, books paid for, everything paid for. But I think it's one thing you can't buy is time, and you can't buy love. And I love him. Like, I'll die for him. I'll take a bullet for my kid.
Where does he live right now?
He's in Arizona. Okay. Yeah, Arizona State.
And how old is he?
He's 23 years old.
So, it's an interesting thing when you're younger, man, because, you may not get things when you're a kid and why your parents do things, right? As you get older, you may still be pissed off through high school and college, and then you start to become in relationships, and then you start to realize, man, maybe my dad was right, or maybe I can see why my dad did something, right? So, because at 23 years old, he's not seeing it yet, doesn't mean he's not going to see it, right? It's hard. I know how I could imagine how you'd feel.
It's funny you say that because there's a lot of people that I had said this to too. And they're like, "We just wait, just give him time, and he'll come around.
Yeah,
he'll understand why."
And then he'll feel bad probably.
I don't want him to feel bad.
No, but I'm saying he's going to probably say like, "Holy shit, I didn't realize as I grow older, Dad, you know." And you just hope that moment comes, right? But
it's hard. I mean, now I have my twins. It's even harder. You know, I'm not thankful for my wife. You know, Amber. She's an amazing mother with my kids, and they're her biological children.
Yeah.
You know, she came into their life when they were 3 years old.
Okay. Who was the
Jenna Jameson?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And it's a crazy story because it came about that I was trying to save my mother. You know, Jenna, beautiful woman, smart, business savvy, and then when she had the kids, she started getting into drugs.
Yeah.
And then my life it was like a reflection of when I was a kid. All this stuff happened when I was a kid. I was like, I don't want this to happen for my boys. I don't want to wait until they're 13. So I told her, here's your ultimatum.
Yeah.
Either you stop or I'm taking the boys and they're going to be mine.
Yeah.
And it was about a year in and she couldn't. So I made the decision. I did it. It's the best decision of my life.
Sure.
I got full custody of the children. They've been with me now for 13 years.
Okay.
I met Amber probably about 9 months after our separation, and I needed somebody to save me. You know, I went to therapy, and I had to because of court. And the therapist told me, goes, Tito, you can't save your mom.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. It hit me like a ton of bricks.
Oh, man.
So you need
what do you mean I can't save my mom?
Yeah.
I could do anything.
I've been doing everything my whole life.
Yeah.
Every time someone I couldn't do anything, I told him I could do it.
Yeah.
He goes, you need to find someone to save you. And then thank God he sent me an angel. And Amber, she's been by my side. She treats my children like her own. You know, they call her mom. They very respectful towards both of us. They better have no choice, but they're great kids with good qualities. You know, good morals, good values.
It must be nice for you because when you grew up, the love wasn't there as much as it is.
That's what I missed out on. You know, I missed out on my dad to give me a hug and saying, "Son, I'm proud of you."
Yeah, you never got that, did you?
Never, ever. That was never got attention. Ever.
Yeah. So
never
you give more.
Like
so you give more because you didn't get that, right?
Yeah.
That's how we are.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's said father guilt. I mean, I got it. So by the way, so you're Jacob. You got a Jacob. You have three, right? So you're was it Jacob?
Jacob. Well, I'm Jacob. My
your
son's
son Jacob.
And then Jesse and
Journey. Yeah, that's right.
We're
okay.
all J's.
So so I'm married to Jen.
Mm-hmm.
We have Joey, Julian, and Jacob.
Okay.
Good name, Jacob, right?
Yep.
And then my mom is named Joni.
Okay.
Who's married to Joe, and then my brother's kids are all J's too. So it's funny because we're all J's. It's a pretty comical.
That was for me. I wanted all J's. That was what I wanted.
Yeah,
for sure.
That's pretty cool. As a matter of fact, that's how I knew your name was Jacob because I'm like, well, if he's got J's, then his name must be a J. I'm like, oh yeah, Jacob.
Yep.
Jacob Ortiz. Right?
Yep.
That's pretty awesome. Let's go back and obviously we went deep there with the kids and stuff, and sometimes that's always.
Do you know what? That's like I say. That's my sanctuary.
Yeah.
My children. You know, people say, what are the things that you can say you've done the most that you're proud of? And I say my children.
Yeah.
My boys. I mean that is my legacy.
Yeah.
Is my children. It's important to me because my dad didn't understand that. And I can't blame him. I can't judge him for what he did. I mean, he passed away 2 years ago at 86 years old on methadone, going through his drug situation. He chose drugs over me, which I understand. I get it. But I couldn't judge him, so I had to be a better father. And with my boys, it's just like I got to make sure that I do the right thing.
Yeah.
And that's what makes me proud when people come up to me going, your kids are really good. That makes me happy.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
the best feeling ever, isn't it?
Best feeling in the world, for sure.
You might hear your son walked up and said, hey, nice to meet you, and looked you in the eyes and shook your hand. Those are some cool traits. As a matter of fact, I know that you wrote a book. I'll get you to sign that today, by the way.
Okay.
But I'm in the process of writing a book too, and it's all those little skills that you develop in life, right?
Yes.
Handshake, looking people in the eyes, just being honest, just being a good human,
Yes.
And it's kind of cool because when I go into your restaurant, as busy and popular of a guy that Tito Ortiz is, man, you go up to every table. And I looked at that and I thought, that's cool as shit, man. That's really
I just trying to be
awesome.
real. I mean, I'm at everybody's level to me. I'm not better than anybody else. I want to be respected. So I give people the respect that I expect. If I don't give a person respect, maybe it's because they did me wrong or so forth. But at the end of the day, I'm not better than anybody else. I'm the same as I bleed, sweat, cry, the same as everybody
That's right,
else.
yeah.
Have the same feelings. I've been through a little bit more, but I understand that. So that's why I give people so much respect and give them my time. It does get a little draining sometimes.
Yeah.
I thank God I got Mondays off. I do reset, literally just chill at home with the family and do nothing.
That's great. That's
It's a reset for me, but it's a part of life. I understood that was the job I had. I understood that I was going to do in fighting. I mean, I had to be a character. I had to be something that nobody else was doing. I had to think outside the box, and I think that's why Tito Ortiz, the undefeated bad boy, was born when I started fighting, because I had to think outside the box.
Yeah.
I just want to be just a regular fighter. I want to be someone who go, holy shit, that guy's like for real.
Yeah.
But outside of the cage, I'm me. I'm just
normal guy,
a
right?
normal guy.
So that's interesting to hear, and I love hearing that because it's the light switch.
Yes.
Right? I mean, the light switch, the fire burns when it needs to, right?
Poker face turns on when it needs to turn on.
So how are you able to separate that from just normal life? Because, I mean, at that time you were married to, adult film star. You were top of the world. You're on Stern and Rogan. And, I mean, you're everywhere, right? I mean, was it that light switch? Tell me about how you're able to turn the switch on, man, when you hear the...
To me, it was always competition.
Yeah.
It was never about hurting another man. It was about competing against somebody and seeing how good I truly could be. That's what it was. It was never about fighting, trying to hurt a guy.
Yeah.
I want to get my hand raised. Yes, whatever I had to do to make that happen, I would do it during training. So when it was fight, it was just like a movie.
Yeah.
I'd never really seen the opponent in front of me. I always had a out-of-body experience where I was watching me fight when I fought.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was weird. It was very, very weird, because then I think back about things and there'd be little small sections of memories that I would like, oh, I remember looking them eye to eye at that time and faking for a punch and hitting a takedown.
Yeah.
But it was something that I had the aggression because of training. I had the anger because as a kid, I never had those things.
Yeah.
And to me, this guy was trying to take my lunch money. I wanted to make sure I got my hand raised, so I pushed myself as hard as I could during camp. During camp, I'd go to Big Bear, California, altitude, over 7,500 feet in altitude. So it's hard to breathe for the first 17 days. Your body get acclimated to it. And then I'd be up there for 3 months. I'd come down to Vegas to fight, and I could breathe for days. My cardio is what saved me in a lot of my times, because after I fought Couture, there was injury after injury after injury. I mean, there was 15 years of injuries.
How many years in were you at when you fought Couture?
I was 5 years. 5 years in. 5 years in when I fought Couture.
Yeah.
And that was my 5th title defense against Couture. And I had an injury during that camp about a month before. I had a bulge disc in my lower back. They gave me medication. UFC gave me medication to take care of it. And I couldn't wrestle, but all I did was do stand up. And like I said, he out wrestled me, and it was just I was a step behind every round. But he was the better man that night.
Man.
I mean, he was.
It was his night, right?
It was his night.
Different day, different outcome, right?
Always.
So I always think about that because listen, at 50. I could lift up a dumbbell, right, not hurt myself. I go to lean over to grab my toothbrush, and I pull something. I mean, that's just life, right? That shit happens. But what's it like, man, just training so hard for a fight, and a week before, or whatever, a disc pops or your knee hurts? Like, how do you go into a fight with injuries but not, because you can't really use it, right? You can't say, oh, he beat me because I hurt my back, and you've never done that. But how do you do it, man? Like,
it's a lot of psychological, ideas that, thank God, I did psychology in college, that understood things that if I am able to manifest something that I want, I can manifest it to the positive.
Yeah.
And the negative will eat me alive if I do live in that negative environment. I think that was a lot of things that helped me out. I mean, there was fights that I lost split decisions against guys that I should have beat, but injuries were in the way.
Yeah.
But I fought because at that time I was making okay money, but not money to set me for life.
Yeah.
And it was like I was almost fighting paycheck to paycheck. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I was living a comfortable life, living in a nice home, nice cars, nice clothes, always food in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have that empty house type feeling. I had a fun time, and I loved it. I went through some money sometimes where I probably shouldn't have did it, but I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I had so much thrown at me at such a young time. But I think it was the psychological side of it that got me through the injuries, that got me through the pain of sucking it up and pushing through it, of just really biting down my mouthpiece and going, just let's get through it.
Let's go, man.
You know, I remember fighting UFC.
Let's get it on, right?
106 against Forrest Griffin, and I had a fractured orbital bone on my right side about 3 weeks before the fight. One of my partners went to go shoot on me, and I put my head down,
butted him, right?
And his head butted me in the face, and my eye was completely swelled over. I don't remember driving down from Big Bear to Vegas. I don't remember weighing in. I don't remember the first round. I don't remember the second round. I just remember the third round knowing I haven't got taken down. I haven't got knocked down. Don't let those two things happen. You got this fight won. I lost a split decision. After that fight, I remember just being in my bedroom for about 2 months. I literally didn't go anywhere. I'd have the shades drawn. I'd just maybe watch TV on a low volume. I couldn't be around people. I had a really bad concussion, and I had to let it heal. Things like that are a challenge for your mind, a challenge for your body, a challenge just for your personality to see what type of man you are. Are you a quitter, or are you just going to bite down on your mouthpiece and get through it? And I think that's what teaches me things in life, in the work area, when it's hard and you don't think you can get through it. Just bite down your mouthpiece and get through it. It's a manifestation. You got to manifest what you want. And I've been fortunate enough to learn those processes through the hard work that I put in through my career. I'm very fortunate, man. Very fortunate, because I could have gone the other way where I was like, no, I'm out. And
was that the only time for you that you had a concussion?
Before a fight, yes.
What does the UFC do with concussions?
Nothing. I mean, back when I fought, nothing. Now I think they changed a lot of things. They do a lot of guys I see a lot of guys pulling out of fights a lot more often. Back then, I would lie. I mean, like when I had a fractured orbital bone, I remember putting my mouthpiece in, and I had to go to the doctor, and they push on my face. And I remember just putting on my mouthpiece, and it's like, it hurt so bad when he pushed on my face. And he goes, "You all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And because at that time, I mean, I needed the money. I needed to pay for my house. I needed to pay for my bills. I was like, I have to fight. I had no choice. I literally had my back pushed against the wall. I had to.
As you're tearing up, you're saying, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm fine.
I'm good. Okay, let's go. I'm good."
Did you? In I think Forrest Griffin, So that was that fight right there.
I lost a split decision to him, and it was just, I dropped him twice. I didn't understand it. I was like, but I get what they're kind of like a passing of the torch, what they were trying to do at that time. He ended up becoming the light heavyweight champion, so congrats to him. But I've been through some battles, but once again, those battles were life lessons. They were life lessons that just made my skin a little thicker, made my mentality a little stronger, made my attitude and personality a little harder, just because of those things that I went through. And it was a learning lesson. Like I say, it was just an opportunity that God just challenged me and see what type of person I could be, what type of character I was, who truly was I? Was I a quitter, or was I willing to be a victor? And I continued to work hard to make those things happen.
You look at like celebrating a win, right? It's probably the best. I mean, after a fight, what's it like after a win that night, the next day? You must be on cloud nine for
one of the biggest ones ever was against Ryan Bader. He was, I believe, 18-1. He was the number 4 ranked guy in the world. I wasn't even ranked in the world. And I remember I was on a 5-fight losing streak, and they're all decision losses besides Liddell. And I remember all the guys are doing interviews. They're telling me, they're like, "What are you gonna do after this fight, Tito? Are you gonna do announcing, or what are you gonna do?" I was like, "What are you talking about? I'm winning this fight." They're like, "No, really, what are you gonna do?" And I did everything I possibly could to not put myself in a bad situation. During camp, I was with my ex-girlfriend Jenna, and she was so negative, and just that toxic relationship got into me for the last 5 fights. It was just always about her, and I literally canceled out. Like, we lived in the same house, slept in the same bed. I didn't speak to her for 8 weeks at all. All I did was just fight. I would train. Actually, I'd get up in the morning, take my boys to school, come back, take a 2-hour nap, go back to training until 3 o'clock, come back. The nannies would come after I picked the boys up from school. The nannies would take care of the boys. I'd go back and train, come back before the boys went to bed, feed them, put them to bed. And I did that for 8 weeks. And I remember leaving, her telling me, "We need to talk." I go, "No, I need to take care of the family right now. This is one of those fights I have to win. If I lose this fight," and I had 4 fights left after that, and they're $1 million fights, each one of them.
Yeah.
And if I would have lost that fight, I would have lost 4 fights.
Man.
So I was like,
and that's where the big opportunities start to come in, right?
And my back was pushed against the wall.
Oh, man.
It came to that point, and I had no injuries. I felt great. And I remember I was at Michael Bisping was doing The Ultimate Fighter, and I went to go talk with Michael Bisping, and he kind of coached some of the guys, and they're all telling me, Tito, man, do the gravedigger thing for us. Show them how you do it. I'm like, you guys could watch on Saturday night. And all of them looked at me like, okay, yeah, really.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, sure. You're not going to beat Bader. I go, watch, guys, I'm going to beat him. Once again, that's a manifestation that I had in my mind. I saw my hand being raised.
Yeah.
I see my hand being raised over and over. I mean, I put myself through visualization all the time, all my fights. I mean, this is college wrestling that I learned that. But I visualized walking out, first punch being thrown, me catching him in another punch, catching him in a submission. And that's exactly how the fight went down.
Nice.
I remember,
oh, man.
the first thing, I remember I hit him with the uppercut, and he dropped and like fell to a shot to my double. He tried to double leg me. I remember getting him a guillotine. I remember just thinking in my mind, here's your opportunity. You got to win right now. And squeezing as hard as I possibly could. It was like that lion who hasn't eaten all year.
Oh, yeah.
And here's my opportunity to feed. And I was like, and I didn't let go. And then all of a sudden, McCarthy grabbed me from under the neck and pulled my head off. And I realized, oh, yeah, I got to let go.
Nice.
And I let go. And first thing that popped in my head is remember those kids in the Ultimate Fighter going, Tito, do the gravedigger. And when I dug the grave for that fight, I did it with such aggression and such emotion, just that proud feeling. And I was willing to sacrifice everything in my body, my power, and my mind to make sure I get the win.
Yeah.
I remember that morning after the fight, I had fun that night. My friends went out and drank. We had a great time. I had no injuries, nothing on me. I woke up that morning and I opened the shears of my windows at the hotel at the Wynn, and across is the palazzo, and on the top of it they have a glass triangle thing where the sun shines through that, and speckles went through my whole room. This is the second time this has happened. This happened when I first won my first world title, and it was a sign, or my grandfather, who used to be a preacher in Hawaii, it was from something that was giving me a sign going, see, if you do right, this is what you get. And having that feeling, I literally broke down. I broke down in tears at
right
that
when
time.
it happened.
Right.
Just felt it.
My whole room just glittered in
that's cool.
spot, like a disco ball.
Yeah.
Like it was just, and I realized that it was time for me to move on from the relationship I was in because it was so negative.
Yeah.
And I literally stayed in Vegas for a week. On my way home, and I get a phone call from Dana White. And he goes, Tito, we need you to fill in for this next fight against Rashad Evans because the guy who was supposed to fight got injured. Yeah. I go, dude, that's in 4 weeks. He goes, I know. I go, I'll tell you what, guarantee my next 4 fights, I'll do it. He goes, give me 20 minutes and I'll call you back. 10 minutes later, he called me back and goes, we got a deal. So I literally went back home, started camp again, 4 weeks later against Rashad. And I lost to him. He just was prepared a little better for me. I mean, I kind of got thrown in a little too quick, I think. But once again, that was an opportunity that I was willing to sacrifice myself for. Yeah. And I did. I was able to finish out my next 3 fights after that. And it was a self-gratification of knowing that what it felt like to sacrifice your life for something. Yeah. And I was willing to do it for my family. That was when me.
Man, that's great. Yeah. And that's a good sign, though. You know, a lot of people don't realize the signs are there, and sometimes they are. And there's always those signs that are real powerful signs, like that one right there, right? I mean, that was a big.
I've had a couple like that that were just like. I realized that God is real. He is looking over me. He has His finger on me. He wants me to do great things, and He's not done with me yet at all. Not even close. Not even close. Man. I have a lot more to do.
And fighting, that's a tough thing. I mean, listen, boxing, UFC, they're different, right? I mean, boxing, you might deal with long-term effects, right? Yes. I mean, there's no doubt about that. I mean, you look at a lot of the fighters like Ali and stuff. I mean, one of the greatest boxers, right? I mean, over time, how Holyfield, they start to slow down at some point. But you could die in the ring in the UFC. I mean, you get hit the wrong way. I mean,
to a certain extent. One thing that's good in MMA is if you're not intelligent defending yourself, they'll stop the fight. There's no standing 8 count. There's a lot of great things that actually help for a guy for a death not happening.
Yeah.
There hasn't have one to this date in the UFC. There has been one in Texas, I believe, about 19 years ago. There was one that happened to fight. A guy took too much damage, and I think the ref didn't do his job. A guy that takes that much damage, and boxing, that's the problem. They have the standing 8 count.
Sure.
Where they get dropped once, they can get up at 8 seconds.
Yeah.
They get dropped again, they stand up 8 seconds. Boom, that's one round over. Second round, maybe it doesn't happen. Third round, it happens once. 8th round, maybe happen again.
That's a good point.
So
will they ever change that, you think, to a standing 4 count or 5? Or give you
in the UFC? No.
No, I'm talking about in boxing. I wonder if they.
I don't know. I would hope so.
Because that's when you're getting damaged right there. Right? You get up, say you're fine, but you're not.
No, what happens because they have a bleed in their brain, and they get a bleed, and that bleed comes to aneurysm, and you lose lives.
Yeah.
And I think they lose a life. I mean, I don't know about the data now, but back when I was competing, I think they were having almost one a year.
Yeah.
Almost one guy would die a year from boxing. You would hear about it.
Yeah.
That was some of the data that I seen. I read up on it because when I was doing my interviews, I'd always say something like that. I was like, you understand, we don't have a standing 8 count. You can't defend yourself. It's over. That's it. And, there's other events that have the same situation, like dirty boxing that's in Miami. They actually have that. It's a guy, if he can't defend himself, it's over. That's it. It's done. And I think it's better that way because the guy doesn't take that much damage.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, it does help.
This new whole slap fest thing and all that.
Oh, that's a different animal in itself.
What's the deal with this? I mean, I watch some of these hits and I'm like, there's no way that could be good for you.
It is not good for you. I mean, it's a great marketing. I mean, what Dana's done with that, congratulations to him.
Is that Dana's?
Yes, yeah. Congratulations to him for that. I mean, that's great. But for the athlete I don't even say athlete. Well, yeah, I'll say they're athletes because they take some blows. That is some damage stuff right there.
Yeah.
You're going to get damaged.
For sure.
As people think a slap is not bad, you're not getting slapped. You're getting hit with all the metatarsals with your palm.
Yeah.
It's not the fingers. It's the full palm.
It's brutal, man.
Brutal. I watch those guys side their heads.
Slaps are brutal. I mean,
you see the side of their heads are swollen. It's like, that can't be good.
Now with some of the AI, you see them where they hit them and their face changes to a different person. I mean, it's some pretty funny stuff.
Yeah.
One of the things I have always been amused by, and I thought a fighter waiting 90 days, 100 days to fight someone. Like, I kind of grew up in a tough city, Calumet City, and we did fight through my lives. Not like you. I battle with real estate now. That's
easy.
Different than your battles, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, what's it like having to wait months for a fight? Do you go through ups and downs and
ups and
emotions?
downs? It's homework. A lot of it's homework. A lot of it's watching video. Living every single day, you have your negative days and you have your positive days.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that angel and that devil on your shoulder. Which
Sure.
one wins? The one you feed. And I always try to feed into the positive, always. Yeah. Every day is just like, okay, what do I need to do today? And I'll write it down at night before I go to sleep. That way, so next day when I do it, I can check it off. And all of a sudden I check off the marks and like, okay, I did it. And then when it's fight time and I walk in, it's like I look behind me and every rock has been unturned that I wanted to unturn. I think that's the mentality behind it of focusing on having the goal and making sure you have the steps to make sure you get to that goal.
Sure.
And sometimes you fall down during one of those steps and you got to pick yourself back up and someone on your team is going, dude, you're going to be good. And I've had that a bunch of times, is having a positive environment.
Yeah, just being around
people,
that, right?
Having positive people around me. That's the best thing. There's been camps of people that are just completely negative. I'm like,
Sure. You
got to leave. Like, what do you mean? I go, you can't be here. Because there's always cussing or always saying something stupid.
Sure.
Or
just negative, right?
Yeah. And I don't have time for that. My life's too short to be like that. And I think it goes through all life, maybe just not in fighting, and it's in general, in business in general, If you 100%. Want a team, if you have a team, that team should be solid. If someone is missing out on something that maybe they don't understand or they have never learned that idea, someone who does know it, teach them.
Yeah.
And if they teach them, all of a sudden that team becomes a little stronger because now they know of somewhere that hole that they missed out on. They don't know what that was, but now they know it. And that's how we try to do it through my fight team, is do the same thing. We try to be a solid team for me, because when I'm in the cage fighting, it's just me by myself. and my team's behind me. They're the ones that helped me to get to that position. But
That's
they
great.
prepared me for it.
Yeah, keep you good throughout the whole fight. You got those negative people too, right? Where you're like, hey man, just get out of here, right?
Yes.
I don't even want to talk to you until it's done. It's got to be tough with social media today. It wasn't as big when you were fighting, right?
No, it wasn't. I think there was the underground forum. I think I was the only one, and I would go on there all the time.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would.
Before fights and everything?
Oh yeah, before fights. I would go on there and just heckle them back. I'd like to thank for your support. People just talk kind of smack. Once again, the keyboard warriors. Now it's just, that's times a million now. Now I couldn't even imagine. If I had social media back when I was fighting, man, I'd be a multi-millionaire.
Oh, man.
Again, that goes to guys like Conor McGregor, who's just done so great with his brand. You kind of almost feel untouchable at some points. Sure. And it's a totally different monster right now. Guys, you have such a great opportunity to do so many great things, and a lot of them are. A lot of them are doing a lot of great things. They're starting podcasts. They're starting, branding. That was my biggest thing was branding. I wanted to be a brand. My thing was I want to make sure that Tito Ortiz is a household name. That was my goal, and that's what I wanted to do, and I think I succeeded to a certain extent. I'm known worldwide. Every time I travel, everybody always notices me, and I always go out of my way and shake hands, take pictures, and say thank you. Because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be who I am today.
Yeah, I think that's great because you're a humble guy, right? So when you're a humble guy like you are, it's almost like you don't know how we all feel about you because you're just doing your thing, right? But if you ever step back and think, man, like, dude, I'm Tito Ortiz. Does it ever just hit you like, I did all this, man. I did 20 plus years. I did pave the way for the UFC. I did, bring them out of financial struggles. You did so much.
I think of it. It was a test. It was something that I had to do no matter what.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just about me. It was about making this brand of the UFC and sport of mixed martial arts one of the greatest sports in the world.
Yeah.
And, I'm very thankful for Lorenzo Fertitta, Frank Fertitta, and Dana White to sacrificing their time, putting their money up, and letting us fighters go out and put on a show. Guys like, Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, Hoist Gracie, Ken Shamrock.
Are these all friends now?
Yeah.
Even Dana?
Dana, we're acquaintances at the time. We were really good friends at one time. And we both said some bad things about each other, and I said some bad things about him, and we just had not hatred. I think it was a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
Just because of the only way I understood how to negotiate was the way he taught me and the way he negotiated, my way or no way.
Yeah.
And to do it against somebody who already did that, it doesn't work that well.
Sure.
And once again, I said some stupid shit I probably shouldn't have said. But at that time, I was a young kid. I didn't know. I was on survival mode. For me, it was survival mode, and there was times that I was saying things that people told me to say, and I probably shouldn't have said it. But I've said it many times that I apologized to them. I wanted to make sure that at that time that I'm not going to fight for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And UFC is going to be around forever, way longer than I'm going to be alive. It's going to be around forever. My opportunity of making money at that time is only that span of window. Now I'm a blue-collar guy. I still got to work every day. I got to bust my ass. I got to do the things to pay for the food and clothes my kids back and lights on, hot water, and things that I didn't have as a kid. And I still got to do those things for my children.
Yeah.
But, everything comes full circle.
Sure.
I'm okay with it.
You powered through those times because, as a fighter, that's a tough thing that you did, man.
It was the hardest thing in the world.
To be able to fight those fights, to hardly make anything, to win, to fight the next one, to maybe make not as much, but then if you win a couple more, then you start getting the big paydays. To stay healthy, to keep your mind right. The
training was the hardest. That's the hardest thing in the world. The fights are easy. The training is the hardest thing in the world.
Take me to a typical training, take me to a tough training day.
One day, it would be Tuesdays, Thursdays, usually tough days. So Tuesday, I'd get up about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'd have to go on my 4-mile run, come back. We would spar with takedowns. We put on shin pads, headgear, mouthpiece, cup, kick and punch each other with takedowns for 5-minute rounds, 30-second rest in between. Go back to the house because we had the house when I was up in Big Bear. My house is right next to my gym.
Yeah.
Have a small meal, chill for about an hour, 2 hours. Then we go back and wrestle in jiu-jitsu. We go takedowns with submissions, try to choke and make each other tap out, or I would try to tap everybody out.
Yeah.
Come back, have another small meal, chill for a little bit longer. About 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, I go do my weight training, which I put myself through about an hour and a half of aggressive, nonstop, 30-second rest weight training.
Yeah.
And I would try to exert myself as hard as possible. Well, I was doing that for 3 to 4 months at a time, 6 days a week. That's what my training was.
Yeah.
And it is grueling. It is challenging. It'll challenge your mind. The psychological stuff behind that is just so challenging, because there was days of going, why am I doing this? And then I look around me, I'm like, oh yeah, I have a really nice house. Oh yeah, I got really nice clothes. Oh yeah, I got really nice shoes. Yeah, I got some clothes in my garage, or my closet. Oh, there's food in the refrigerator. My bank account looks okay.
Let's keep pushing.
Let's keep pushing.
Yeah.
Let's keep pushing. Who matters is injury, who cares? Let's keep pushing. I don't want to let my family down. I don't want to let my fans down. I want to prevail.
Yeah.
And that becomes that self-talk in the mirror when I go, are you ready to continue to do this? Let's do it. Let's do it. And it's like, let's go. That's exactly what it's like.
That's crazy, man. I mean, even like the 4 mile run to start, that's a good hike, right?
And I'm in altitude, and you got to beat your time every time. Every time I have to beat my own time. And that's just psychological on my own of knowing that I'll be pace myself. All right, I'm gonna have a heart rate monitor. Look at my heart rate. My heart rate's like 150, 160.
Yeah.
And I'm in 7,000 feet of altitude. And I'm like, all right, push yourself, push. And then I could see the house about an eighth of a mile away. I'm like, go.
Yeah.
And just push myself as hard as that fast, like full sprint. You know,
what does Tito Ortiz run 4 miles in?
4 miles.
Back then, because you're about what?
Back then, I'd do it in like 32 minutes.
Okay.
I think, about
yeah.
that,
yeah. Which is
6.5 miles.
Keep an 8-minute mile up with different altitudes is pretty good.
Yeah.
And at that time, you're what? 205 was your fighting weight.
About 223.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's right.
Because I would cut down to 205.
Yeah.
You know, when I was middleweight champion, my weight class was 199. And the UFC got bought by Zuffa, which is Lorenzo Fertitta.
Yeah.
Dana White was the president. They moved the weight class to 205. Joe Silva, who was a matchmaker at the time, he asked me what would be the best weight for you. I go, if you make it to 205, that'd be perfect for me. Because at the time, I was about 217, and I was trying to make down 199. It was like cutting off a leg. It was the hardest cut in the world. So
even coming from a wrestling background, which that was a normal thing.
And it was hard. But they made it 205, and that's how I became the first light heavyweight champion. And when I fought Randy was cutting from 228 down to 205. And because he felt heavy as hell when I fought him, I go, how much did you weigh for the fight? He goes, about 226, 227.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you put that weight back on? Because I was having problems putting weight back on. I might get down to 205, I get back to 217, 218 at the most. He goes, I do IVs. I was like, what? He goes, yeah, well, in the military we did that. Whenever you're dehydrated, you do IVs and you rehydrate your body completely. Wow. I was like, So I put on a little more muscle.
Yeah.
All right. And I was like, all right, this works actually really well.
Nice.
Then all of a sudden, 5 years later, the UFC said you're not allowed to do that anymore. Because they said that people that were doing steroids, that they were diluting for them to do testing them all.
Yeah.
Diluting, if you have any at all, you're going to be tested positive anyway.
Yeah, that's right.
It didn't make sense to me. But they were just trying to protect the fighters. But then all of a sudden they started doing testosterone therapy stuff. The guys are allowed to do it. When I lost to Forrest, they told me the day after that he was doing testosterone. I was like, you guys can't do shit like that. I mean, that what if he would have killed me? Just think of it that way. Like, what if he would have killed me and he was on drugs?
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, I look at guys now that have done that, and you can see they're a few years younger than me, and they look like they're 10 years older than me.
Sure.
Because it speeds up their aging at that time. You know, they're doing so much at the time. You know, right now that I'm 50, I no longer compete. I'm actually on therapy myself. First time, I don't have to fight. I test my levels. I was at a 120.
Yeah.
And a normal level is like 700. I was like tired all the time.
Sure.
I didn't want to work. I didn't want to do anything. And I work with TC clinics here in Fort Myers.
Jeff and Alex, right?
Yep.
Who was on my show as well. Great guys.
And they helped me. And now it's just like I'm normal. I feel like myself. I feel like younger. I feel more energetic. You know.
When your boys want to wrestle, you can.
Yeah, I can wrestle with them. No, I coach at Ida Baker High School. I'm the assistant head wrestling coach there. But it's not like something that I'm doing to get bulk and muscle and like. I'm doing it to make me feel like I did when I was 30.
Yeah,
My levels are about 750 now.
Okay.
Going from a 120 to 750, it's like a game changer for me completely. And now this biohacking stuff that is going on, this is stuff that I've been doing since 2000. Ice baths, hyperbaric chambers, altitude simulation machines, red light therapy. This stuff that I've been doing through my whole career to get me through all the injuries I've been doing. And now it's starting to become a big thing and doing all these peptides and things. I haven't gotten to the peptides yet, and I think that's my next step. But it's just, I want to have longevity, and longevity with the technology they have now to biohack your body to do the right things for the right way and feed your body the right things to have more of a longevity in your life. They're figuring it out.
I was thinking about that today because I'm like, I should start just. I mean, I hope I'm pretty good on the testosterone side of things, and I don't really know, but I feel good. But I'm thinking, am I missing out on some of these things that can make me live longer? In 100 years, is the average age going to be a lot higher than it is now because of these things?
I think so. I hope so. My grandma passed away at 103.
Yeah.
And she never did anything like that. She was Mexican, ate Mexican food all the time. She didn't smoke, she didn't drink. But I have longevity in my life. My father went through hell, and he died at 86.
Okay.
I mean, he did so much, and he should have lived longer. My grandfather, his father, died at 90 or 98. So I have longevity in my life for sure. But being able to learn this biohacking stuff to a T and get it perfect, I don't know how long could I live to.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to live too old where it's like miserable, but at the same time, I want to live a great life for my children to make sure that I could watch them get married and, become men that I expect them to be.
Sure.
Yeah.
Don't do the math, Tito.
No.
Do not do the math, brother.
I've already done the math a few times. It's heartbreaking.
Bro.
This last year when I turned 50, I'm telling you, I just like going...
It's a weird
I'm halfway through my life right now. I blinked and was like, and I remember watching a movie, and she's like, "You're only 40 years old." God, I remember to be 40 years old, and I blinked and I was 90.
Yeah.
I was like, God, and it happens that quick. So I think that's why I try to get the most out of life right now. I try to get the best memories possible, and with my wife, Amber, it's my best friend. Like I said, we've been together for 13 years. She's gone right now in Vegas. She's actually a speaker at Monat, the company's was it skin and hair care, Monat, that she works for. And she's actually one of the speakers. She's speaking in front of 20,000 people.
Nice.
And it's just cool to see that because she motivates me to show the hard work that I've done already. And she's like, no, you motivate me because I've seen all the stuff that you've done. I see all the stuff you do in camp. I see all the stuff you do for the family. I see all the stuff you do at the restaurant, as a coach. And she goes, you make me proud. I go, no, you make me proud. So I think us collaborating with each other make us solid parents.
That's special for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
When you look at, like those numbers, right? So being 50, I turned 50 in April. And I started thinking, man, so I'm 50, I'll be 80. And then, Joey's 15. So you just go, man, I can't do this. It's absolutely brutal to think about these things. And my son Joey, I was watching, which game? I was watching an old baseball movie with him. Forget the name of it. But it was a movie, forget the name of it. Anyway, I'll think of it. And it was a deep message. And I could see he was getting a little bit teary-eyed. He was about 10 years old. He said, Dad, I hope you never go. I love you. And I was like, man, thank you, buddy. I said, I don't plan on going for a long time. He says, why don't you have me when you were younger? And I said, well, I didn't meet your mom when I was that young. So I wouldn't have been your father. You'd have been somebody else's kid. So just be happy that, that you're
our house for a reason. Yeah.
But it's cool stuff, man. As far as being in that back room, in that training room, hitting the pads, getting ready for a fight, and all of a sudden your name's called. What's it like, man? Just with that walk from the training room to the stage. What's going through your mind?
Well, I think right before that, I usually throw up. So anything in my stomach, it's like an automatic reaction. And anything's the nerves, and I throw up every single time. I'll throw up.
The nerves, just the nerve
nerves.
of
And I'll throw up, and then in the walk in, I'll have tears coming down my eyes, and it's not from pain. I'm not mentally hurting.
Yeah.
It's the fear leaving my body. So when I walk in, and everyone is just telling myself, it's time. This is your time right now.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Man.
You got this. Let's go. And I walk in the arena, and there's 15,000 people, and they're chanting my name. I'm like, it's like a dream. It's like, as a kid, I used to dream about that. And maybe it's God setting me up when I was a kid to make me feel it was comfortable.
Yeah.
Like, this is where you're supposed to be.
It's part of your routine, man. Superstitious, the routine. I mean, we all do those things that we like to do.
Everything.
Right?
I always put my left glove on before I put my right glove on.
Yeah, same way. If I won the fight, maybe I'll put my right on first. Or if I lost the fight, maybe I switch them up.
I always did exactly the same thing. Like I say, crying and throwing up. I did that every one of my fights. It just, maybe a little superstitious, but just an automatic reaction to something that I always used to doing, and I always did.
Yeah. I thought it was so cool, man, because, again, you know, we had the parties, and we rooted for you. And I really rooted for you even more after the Ultimate Fighter with Shamrock.
Yeah.
That was your career, man. That's when, I mean, people realized, like, this guy is a normal guy. He's a coach. He wants his players to win. Like, dude, Tito's a good, normal dude, man. That was a good time for you.
I'm the #1 Ultimate Fighting coach.
Oh, man. No doubt.
Of their history. I just saw some online. And
I got the chills thinking about it, man.
The guys, they gave their top 10 coaches for the Ultimate Fighters, and they said Tito Ortiz #1 because he cared about the guys. And I did.
Yeah.
That's my coaching mentality, because that's what I also went to school for. I want to be a high school wrestling coach and a physical education teacher. I mean, I want to be a resource teacher.
Sure.
But fighting guided me the opposite way.
Oh, man, it did.
But now life comes full circle. Now I am a high school wrestling coach, which I love. And we're doing well at Ida Baker. I mean, we got some tough kids. They listen. Everything's in a positive mentality.
Sure.
I give them everything I possibly can to teach them all the moves. We have girls on the team too, and I challenge them mentally, and they get to a point where they start crying, and I'm like, no, suck it up. You're good. I go, you in pain? Like, it's just hard. I go, yeah, life's going to be hard. Like, let's keep going and get through this.
Keep pushing.
And they get through it. Then all of a sudden, the next time they do it, they're not crying. They're passing the boys. Yeah. And just to build something like that, I have the parents coming up to me saying, thank you for what you're doing to my child right now, because you're making them have their chin up a little higher when they walk in the room. And that's what it is. I mean, like, there to be like, I'm the tough guy, but be there to, you have respect for yourself. You could walk in and have an honor system of going, yes, I'm nice to meet you. I'm Tito. Pleasure to meet you. Look them in the eyes, shake their hand. Yeah. And I have a lot of kids now that have been with me for 2 years that have that. And like, you just watch them, they walk in the room, like, hey, coach, how are you? I'm like, doing good. Before, they'd be like, hi, coach. Like, kind of not there, but just intimidated.
Not like they were. Yep. And that's cool because, you know, you're really kind of impacting maybe even generations down, right?
I hope
you could teach them to be that way, man, and they teach their kids to be that way, and the people that they impact. Because, you know, the more, I mean, you're a champ, man, so people look up to you, and they'll take that message and pass it on. I remember it's almost like a baseball team, right? All these kids get on the field. I played baseball, by the way. And no one knows each other, right? Everybody's kind of uncomfortable. They're looking around the room. They're not a team yet, right? And all of a sudden, a couple games in, now they start to become a team, and all of a sudden, everybody's rooting for each other, and they're a force, right?
Yes.
It's like, you know, it's like your wrestling team, right? It's like at first they're just a bunch of dudes trying to
make it,
trying to top each other, right? To be the best that they can.
Yeah.
It was really cool watching the before Tito, the Ultimate Fighter, and after, because before, you know, I wouldn't say you were a villain, but, you know, it was a different mentality, right? You became the Ultimate Fighter, and then all of a sudden, man, you fight Shamrock. Yeah. I mean, to me, it looked like you guys hated each other, man, and I wanted you to beat him so bad.
We did.
I mean,
we disliked each other a lot.
That was real.
That was the most exact feeling of hatred towards another man that you can get in UFC.
Yeah.
There was nothing to mimic what we had against each other. You know, I disliked him, and this is before UFC was bought by Fertitas.
Yeah,
like, we didn't like each other back in the day, back when it was tournament times.
Yeah, you and who didn't?
Me and Shamrock.
Shamrock did.
Yeah,
so this was a feud that you didn't like each other for a long time prior. Okay, so you couldn't wait to kick.
This was 5 years in the making.
Yeah.
No, this was, and I think that's why it was such a big event when we competed the first time UFC 40.
Yeah,
just because of the people understood the feud that we had prior. I think that was the biggest thing. But it was once again, I had huge respect for him. He pushed me as hard as I possibly could to be the best fighter that I could be at that time.
Sure. Yeah, because he was tough. I mean, he had some good wins.
I remember looking across
his brother was tough.
And he was jacked.
He was in good shape, man, for sure.
I grabbed a hold of him, and he felt like a rag doll. I was like, all right, I'm really strong. I was like, okay. And he clipped me in the first round. I think it was like 35 seconds into the fight. He clipped me with the right hand. I dropped to a knee for half a second. My recovery super fast. And I just remember going, I'm smashing this guy.
You knew from that first round, I'm beating this guy today.
Yep.
As long as I'm smart now, I don't do anything.
Well, once again, I think that really comes down to also it was an automatic reaction on everything in my body that I did during camp.
Yeah. That
for the fight, we did exactly the same thing for the fight that I did during camp. And there was a lot of guys who came up and trained with me for that fight, like Oleg Titarev, Mark Kerr, a couple other guys came up and trained with me, and I was manhandling a few of them. You know, me and Kerr he was tough as shit. I mean, I think I got the 2 takedowns on him maybe. But still, they were like, you're not going to have no problem with him. I remember Oleg Titarev going Tito, and he's fought Shamrock twice at that time.
Yeah.
You're going to literally smash him. So once again,
hearing a guy that fought him, that must be good to hear, right?
Yeah, and that confidence build my confidence a little more, and that's what it is too. I mean, I think with fighters and life in general too, it's the confidence that you have for something that you're prepared for. If you don't have the confidence for it, you're not going to do that well. If you have the confidence for it, and you're ready and you're prepared for it, you're going to smash. You're going to hit it you're going to hit a home run. 100%. You're going to hit it out of the ballpark. Yeah, and that's in everything in every walk of life. You know,
confidence, man.
Confidence
it's all about confidence.
Confidence is how you carry yourself, and that's what I try to do with the kids in wrestling at Ida Baker High School. I try to give them the confidence in the wrestling room when they do the work. I mean, they're running stairs for 30 minutes straight. I mean, when we do our training, we're doing 2 hours straight. Yeah, and I want them to get the confidence. So it's like, this is 6 minutes of your life right now. Give it all you possibly can. And they go out there and they do. Yeah. And sometimes it lasts quick, where they pin them quick. They're like, turn around and go, Coach, that worked. Come on. This is why we do it. Keep doing it.
Confidence, man. And work in life is a huge thing. That's part of my book as well. It's like when I talk to my kids, I'm like, Joey, because my son's 15. He's a sophomore. He's he's an athlete. He's, all my kids have got good skills in different ways. So I said, buddy, listen. I said, be confident in what you do, man. Like if anybody ever tries to get the best of you, because he's a strong kid too. He's 170. He's like 6'3". He's got big hands. He's got a good grip. And I said, if anybody ever tries to pull one over on you, man, just be confident to know that you got to have that light switch. Yeah. To be able to switch it if you need to. Don't ever be scared, man. Because remember when you're younger, I don't know how you were, but I know I was. If somebody bullied me, I was probably tougher than they were. But they just scared me a little bit and brought my confidence down to their level, and they might have been tougher. But as I got older, I was able to use my light switch to go, oh, I'm going to win this 100%. Yeah. And just by me knowing that, I said to my son, I said, across the room, you could win a fight by just looking at somebody.
That was a lot of my things.
Yeah.
And once again,
just by looking.
That was the psychological stuff that I went through and tested myself. And once again, when I was in college, I didn't realize I was going to fight. So when I did psychology, Psych 101, we would learn about just the mind and development. Then I did child development. Yeah. And I learned the things that I went through as a child, why I'm doing these things repetition, because of when I was a child, I suffered so much pain and suffering as a young kid that I shouldn't have seen those things at that age. But it prepared me to understand it as I got older, that when it came to the fight, that I was like, okay, light switch is on. If I make this guy blink right now, he's mine. That's right. I remember Ryan Bader, and we were at the weigh-ins. I did that to him, and he blinked him like that. I go, oh, I got you. I won. I got you. I got you.
I'm winning this one.
Yes, I got you.
There was a lot of those fights too. I mean, I'm talking about in general. Like one of the fights I remember is like when Mike Tyson was younger, right? When he was coming out, man, he had the look, and he was looking at the ring, and you just knew he was going to win. Yes. That's the look of the.
I know Mike, and I followed him since the very beginning. Yeah. He's been to actually when I fought UFC 33 against Vladimir Matyshenko, he was in my dressing room, and he had a punishment beanie on, and I had got him some swag, so he was sitting there just sitting on the floor watching me hit pads. He's like, damn, Tito, you kick like a motherfucking mule. I was like, this is Mike Tyson. And it's just like one of those things that you're just like,
how do I have him here telling me that I'm hitting like a mule? I mean, because you looked up to him.
Yeah, I looked up to him, and it was just that gratifying feeling. Once again, it was a situation in life that was he put there to make my confidence higher. Yeah. Was he there to motivate me even more? Yeah. I mean, this goes back to the very beginning of Hogan. When I was a kid, when I first started wrestling, he gave me that confidence of like, he took the time of turning around and shaking my hand and saying, brother, say your prayer and take your vitamins. Yeah, I was like, it's always been little small gracious, little small points that I've learned from other people that I've looked up to, that have given back to me in little small ways. That's why I go so much way out of my way for fans to talk to them.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how much that conversation I had with them, either they got onto something that I said or they got onto everything I said, but it helped them out. Because there is times that guys that came back to me 10, 15 years later saying, Tito, remember you told me this and this. I'm all, to be honest with you, I don't. He goes, well, you helped me.
Yeah, nice.
And that's what I think in life, that's what life should be, is helping thou neighbor.
Well, that's part of the success, too, because when you're younger, you think money, right? It's all about the money, right? Then you get a little taste of it and you go, I'd like a little bit more. Of course, you want as much as you can. But then you realize at some point it's about impacting more people that you can, right? Like your kids, your family, being a good role model. And you're there, man. I mean, I watched you interact, man, and you're I was surprised to see how normal of a colossal name you are.
And it humbles me. I mean, it just humbles me because I understand how quick things can be taken away. And there's people that do attack me and say stuff that through my career I said some stupid things. Once again, I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm 50, but I'm still learning every day. I learn something new. I learn something different. But that's what's just making me that much more of a solid person.
Sure.
Because I'm willing to learn. I'm not being stubborn and being stuck in one way. And I have an open mind. I'm willing to question everything.
Sure.
And
you're always improving, no matter what.
I'm trying to better myself and better the people around me. And once again, my 5 friends that are around me, I mean, 4 of them are billionaires. I mean, it's like I could sit there and be thankful because they kind of helped me the right way. They helped me in the right positions.
Sure.
And not to just give me something, but to give me an opportunity and to see what I do with it.
Yeah.
And then all the friends that I have are good dudes. And I'm thankful to have my wife because she's the one who's helped me get to that point too.
Yeah.
Because there's been times that I had the leeches on me. I had the people that are around me.
Oh, for sure.
And they were just there for the limelight. And I get it. I do. And I liked it because I didn't have attention as a kid. But now that I've gotten older, I don't need that attention. I don't want it.
Yeah.
And if I do, I just go to the restaurant. I mean, that's fine. And if I do, I'll go out. I'll
go to my
somewhere.
happy place.
Yeah, and it's fun. I love it. It is. And people who come up to me and they're afraid to come up to me, don't be afraid to come up to me. If you see me out in public, come say hi.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. And then
do you get the people to walk up to you, Tito, and try to spar with you? I mean, when you're in public and just mess around?
No, not at all.
I wondered about that.
No, I mean,
in a joking way, like, hey man, come on, put me in.
Yeah, in a joking way, a lot. But they realize they come up to me and see how big I am, and they like shake my hand. They're like, dude, you got like banana hands. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm a big guy.
You're a lot bigger than when I first met you. You're a lot bigger than I thought you would be. And it's funny because a lot of the keyboard warriors are the people at home that think they can beat the people on TV. I said, I don't know. If you saw one in person, like Tito, you would probably think, maybe I'm not as tough as I think I am, right?
Yeah. I once again, I don't want anybody to test themselves with me because whatever they do for work, and I've had this situation when I was younger. I think I just became champ. A guy come up to me and he's like, I'd kick your ass. I go, okay. What do you do for a living? He goes, well, I do construction. Okay, cool. I go, well, you get up about what, maybe 5:30 in the morning? I go, put on your socks, put on underwear. Hopefully you brush your teeth. Yeah. Put on your work boots, put on your work pants, T-shirt. Start your car, drive to site, get on site by 6 a.m. probably. Yeah. You pound nails until about what, 6 p.m.? He goes, yeah. I go, check it out. I get up at 12 in the afternoon. I do my 4-mile run. We come back, have a small meal, go back to the gym. We put on headgear, mouthpiece, cup, shin pads, gloves, and we kick a punch each other for 2.5 hours. Then I go back, have another small meal, come back and do jiu-jitsu and wrestling. We try to take each other down, trying to break each other's arms and legs, choke each other unconscious. Then I go back, have a small meal. Then I come back and do weight training for an hour and a half straight. I go, do you want to show me how to build the house? Because I don't want to show you how to fight. Then they go, what are you drinking? What are you drinking? Let me buy you a drink.
I like that.
But once again, this psychological side of it that you can actually just smash somebody super fast without even being physical at all.
Yeah, just a little verbal
explanation of
events,
understanding what I do for a living and what I have done. And I don't need to test myself. I don't need to prove anything. And hopefully that we can have a good time tonight and shake hands and pleasure to meet you.
That's right.
And just have a good time.
That's
it.
Yeah, I love it. During that time frame when you beat Shamrock, right? I mean, when he went down, I'm sure that felt. I mean, you already knew you were beating him based on the first round, but what did it feel like, number one, when he went down and you knew that was it, right? And number two, what it was like when they start chanting Tito, because that was the first time I heard the whole stadium chanting.
Yeah, I've had that happen a couple times when I was champ, of course, but that one, just because it was, I think 16,372 people in there, plus the back, and so there was good 17,000 people in there. Just to feel that, once again, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah, I believed in it so much that it was going to be like that it was already there. Like, I manifest this right now, and it felt like I was meant to be here right now. This is what it was. This is how it was supposed to happen.
Yeah, when you heard that, does it make you taller, stronger, better, just more?
More on point.
Yeah.
Makes you on point. Everything just focuses in. Everything like literally just focus into making sure that I don't make a mistake and don't get overzealous and try to overreach and get clipped with something that I shouldn't got clipped with.
Because that could happen, right?
Yeah.
You throw a haymaker too hard and you leave something open.
I mean, this goes back when my first fight in Las Vegas. I was the main event at Mandalay Bay. I fought Vladimir Marchenko, UFC 13. I was the champion, and I fought not to lose. I didn't fight to win. I fought not to lose. So there's a lot of positions, and this guy was a Pan Am wrestling champion from Russia, great fighter, and I fought every round not to lose. I dominated him in wrestling, and I wasn't supposed to. And I was like, this is that easy. But I didn't want to lose, so I made sure that I stayed in good position the whole time.
Sure.
It was a 5-round fight. But if I would have fought to win, I would have stopped in 2-3 rounds, I think. But at that time, I was so young. I mean, I was only fighting for 4 years before that.
Yeah.
3 years before that.
Yeah, you just didn't want to lose.
I just didn't want to lose.
Versus
going out there, I'm going
to crush this guy.
I'm going to crush this guy.
Like you did, and from that point on.
So with Ken Shamrock, that was my mentality. I didn't go out there to not lose. I went out there to beat him and do it devastatingly. And I threw everything at him but the kitchen sink. I think I threw the kitchen sink at him also. After the third round, when he got up, I looked at his face, and it was just deformed.
It was bad.
Yeah, and they stopped the fight.
Yeah.
And then they said they want to do it again. And I was like, as long as you pay me what I want, we're in, let's do this. And they ended up coming back around. We did it, and that was when we did the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Yep. And it was cool because he pushed me to levels that I never understood to get to those levels. But I didn't want to lose, so I wanted to make sure that I did win. So I had to do everything in my workhouse to make sure I put in the work.
Yeah.
And I grinded. I sacrificed my life. I sacrificed time from my family, Christmases, New Year's, my birthday. I mean, there was times that 4th of July. I mean, the 4th of July is a huge day for me. I love it. It's independence of our country. Like I'm a huge patriot, and to miss out on things like that it's hard, but at the same time, it's sacrifice.
Do you use that in the ring?
Yes.
On everything?
Everything.
Like, I'm giving up everything for this. I'm not losing.
I'm not losing. I'm giving up everything.
What did you say to him at the end of the fight?
Thank you.
I remember you were a pro. I mean, you walked up.
I said thank you. I said thank you for bringing the best out of me.
Yeah.
I was actually afraid of the guy. I was afraid of him because he was the world's most dangerous man, and I always looked up to him.
Yeah.
I was afraid of him. Yeah. I had a little fear, but it was just like after that first punch, it was like, all right. It was just all on cruise control. Everything was on cruise control.
Confidence level goes from an 8 to a 20, right?
Automatic.
That's pretty cool, though, to be able to, after a fight, just say, hey, man, you helped me. Because that's what it's really and truly. Other people that do things that we're not doing push us to be the best we can.
Yes, exactly. And that's all life in general.
Yeah.
And that's the positive people you carry yourself around. As I say, the 5 people they're hanging out with, those are your future.
Yeah.
And then are they going to make your platform step up higher, or are they going to bring you down? And as I say, I try to help people as much as possible, but as soon as they pull me down, I let go. I can't do it. I want to help people as I grow, but they got to be willing to help themselves too.
Yeah.
They can't pull me down as
For sure.
they're getting pulled down. Life's too short to do that, and I am not a victim of society. I'm a victor, and I understood that as a young kid.
Yeah.
I could have gone the other way, and I didn't. I really have. I'm 50 now, but I matured at a really young age just because I had to survive.
You were a man when kids were playing with WWE. Those rubber wrestlers. I was actually. I had them all.
I always used to watch all of it. I remember because it's funny. My mom would say that everybody go out and play on Sunday or Saturdays when Saturday night wrestling would come on. And he goes, but you would sit there and you'd like, I'm watching this, Mom. And then my mom used to sit there with the paper towel, cardboard thing. It'd be like, Tito Ortiz. And I remember sharing that. And we did a thing for UFC a long time ago. I think it was like in 2011 or 12. And she was talking about that. I was like, wow, you remember that, Mom? She said, yeah, I'll never forget it.
Wow.
But that was just, once again, it was those things like you kind of live in that life and you're not really, weren't sure that's the way it was going to be.
Sure.
But it ends up turning out like that. So once again, it was manifesting my future is what I was doing.
Movie right there, man. That'd be a part of, that'd be the beginning of the movie right there.
I
got a videographer for you, by the way.
There's some stuff we're working on already. I actually
that's
got
cool.
stuff in the works right now.
We talked about Mike Tyson. Did Mike work with you at all, or did you ever get a chance to move with Mike?
Never. I never got an opportunity to move with Mike. He just, at that time, he was in awe with MMA. He was like, you guys are animals. Like this is something totally different. And this was 2001. Yeah, 2001.
Yeah.
And he was like, this is something like totally different.
Yeah, so 21. So Mike's probably what, 65 now, maybe?
He is
58? 60, I don't know.
58 or 59.
Okay, 59. So yeah, so 24 years ago, he was still a younger guy, right?
Yeah, he was still fighting. He fought Francois Botha after he was in my corner, and he actually walked out with my beanie. It was a gray flame beanie.
Oh, did he
walked
really?
out with my beanie. I was like, oh my God, dude, Tyson got my beanie on. I was so stoked. I said, thank him so much.
With the towel, he had the towel with the hole cut. Remember, that's how he walked out. And then you had another big feud, obviously, with Chuck Liddell as well. So, that third fight, when you caught him with that uppercut, and he went down.
Oh, straight right. Actually, it was straight right.
Straight right, okay.
Yep, straight right.
What was that feeling like at that point? Because at that time, Chuck, he had a good run, right?
He had a great run. The first couple fights we had, the first fight we had, I didn't want to fight it. I thought he was a friend. And we got paid shit. I made $150,000 for that fight. I thought if we were going to fight each other and risk our relationship as friends, that we should get paid, a cut of the pie, not just a little nibble of the crust. And that's how it was. And he kind of sold out on that. And the second fight, I was all in. I just started dating Jenna at the time, and maybe I wasn't that focused. I felt in great shape. Everything felt great for the fight. He clipped me. And the referee says you got to defend yourself at all times.
Yeah.
And I had my hands up, and he was punching on my forearms. He wasn't hitting me in the face, and they stopped the fight. And I was like, "What are you stopping the fight for?" And I understand.
Yeah.
The third fight, when he called me out, he says, "You better show up," because we had the Ultimate Fighter. We didn't fight each other because I had to get neck surgery, my first neck surgery. And he called me out, and I go, "Chuck, you don't want to fight me, dude. I'm a different animal right now." And at this time, I was still competing. He took 5 or 6 years off, and I was still competing. I was competing in Bellator, and I was dominating. I was doing well. I was in great shape. This was me and my relationship with Amber first started, so I was in a positive world. Like, everything was great. She was like my dream partner. Like, I had nothing to worry about with my kids, nothing to worry about.
That honeymoon phase, right?
Yeah,
in the beginning, everything.
It hasn't
perfect.
stopped. It's been 13 years, and it hasn't stopped.
Oh, you're talking about with your that's
my wife now.
Oh, your current wife.
My
Right.
wife. Yeah. No, when we first. It was just.
I think you're talking about before.
Yeah, having someone to put me first, and not be selfish for themselves, and put my kids first. I never had that.
Yeah.
And it was just, training was easy. Everything was easy. It was like. And then Chuck called me on. I was like, dude, you don't want to fight me right now. I'm a different animal. I'm telling you. He goes, you better show up. I knew right off the bat. I went to Vegas for a UFC Hall of Fame thing, and they put me and Chuck faced up to face off. But this is before the fight we were supposed to fight. They actually were promoting it too. I was like, thank you. Like, this is how we have an opportunity. Thank you. And I remember going to XS that night, which is a nightclub at the Wynn, and I went to Dana's table, and I was talking to Dana, and we're closer then than we are now. And I remember telling him, but him and Chuck are like best friends too. And it was me, Chuck, Dana, Dana was me and Chuck's manager. We were super close. And I remember telling him, I go, I'm knocking Chuck out. You understand that? I go, I'm a different animal. I go, he should not be taking this fight. He goes, yeah, we'll see. He gets up and leaves his table. I was like, oh, did I say something bad? That was the last time I talked to Chuck.
Really?
I talked to Dana.
Yeah.
That was the last time that I talked to him. And me and Chuck fought, and I stopped him in the first round. And I remember in the pre-fight, it was the day before weigh-ins, and we had to go hit pads for all the media. And he was hitting pads. I was like, dude, if you punch at me like that, I go, it's not lasted past the first round. And he kind of laughed, and I was like, you don't realize, like, I mean, I trained 21 weeks for that fight. I pushed myself as hard as I possibly could. I didn't have to go up to Big Bear. I was at home in Huntington Beach.
Sure.
I did all my training in Huntington Beach. I went to a SIMP adaptation, where I do an altitude simulation machine. So I got a simulation of altitude to produce my red blood cells for recovery, for lactic acids to get out of my muscles. So I had the same feeling of being up in Big Bear, but at sea level, which was great. And the recovery for the fight, I was just probably in the best shape of my life. When I stopped him, that feeling, it was a gratification of going, I told you so.
Yeah,
like
I knew it.
This is what should have happened the first time.
Yeah.
But I thought Chuck was my friend. I thought he was my boy.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that we were close enough that I didn't have to have this feeling. But he made me have that feeling where I hated him. I literally hated him.
Yeah.
Now times have changed, and I put it behind me. Life is too short to hate.
Yeah, that's good.
I forgive everything that he did, and I'm sorry for everything that I did towards him. And it was never to take anything away from him. It was always to build us both up. And I mean, I love the guy. I wish nothing but the best for him. And that comes from the bottom of my heart. It's like, I'm honest. If it was for Chuck Liddell, there probably wouldn't be a Tito Ortiz, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And there may not even be a UFC if it was for Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz.
You're good with him now?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, very good.
Do you ever think about how many people that you would have beat if you had the same skills to fight Chuck that night? You go through your career and go, man, if I could have fought like this, I might have been unstoppable.
So this is the crazy thing too. I started training when I was 22. Boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu. I never did it before, ever.
Yeah.
All I did was wrestle. So when I was world champion, I was a white belt in jiu-jitsu. I was doing kickboxing for 2.5 years. I was doing boxing for 2.5 years. I didn't know anything. I was the world champion, and all I knew was wrestling. And I knew to set my punches up and get the takedown from that. Ground and pound, I knew it was the defenses for jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the offense at all. All I just knew is don't go to your back and be on top always, and always keep your elbows in tight and keep your head up and throw elbows. I would watch tape, and I would figure out what other guys were doing. I would try to mimic those things, and I would mimic those things during training. So it was just the repetition of doing it over and over again. It was a reaction. It was never an idea. Because if it was an idea, it's too late. If it's a reaction, it happens as you think of it.
Sure.
So as my career went on, by 2006, I was in the sport for 9 years, 8 years. I never knew anything before. All the other guys who've been fighting, they've been training since they've been 15, 16 years old.
So you had just started learning stuff.
I just started learning
people with wrestling and elbows and punching. And
by 2014,
right?
It was like all of a sudden, it was like I had just a whole encyclopedia of stuff that I could just dig into in my toolbox. Things that any little position I wanted to, I could pick out of it. It's crazy just because of how much I learned in such a quick amount of time, and to become world champion as fast as I did. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
If you want something, you want it bad enough, you got to be willing to sacrifice your life for it. And that's what I was willing to do. And that's what I will.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, this comes all the way back to this time right now. We're opening my restaurant. I never ran a restaurant before. I never understood how to run a restaurant. I know how I want to be served at a restaurant.
Yeah.
I know what type of food, if I wanted that food, that's what it should taste like. The consistency, the service, drinks, all the way down to the waitresses, to the bartenders, how they should be able to serve the patrons that come in, to do it correctly, to make them feel wanted, to make them feel like they're at home. And that's, I think, the side of me that I love, because I'm serving to people, and it's fun for me. Like it makes me excited.
Yeah.
I mean,
and your team loves being there too,
Yeah.
because I'll talk to the bartenders and they're like, oh yeah, man, Tito, and they just love you.
I know
cool.
when I talk to them, and it's like, you don't work for me. We work together. And I'm willing, I'll do everywhere from mopping to in the back in the kitchen to making drinks to sweeping to sitting people to wiping tables down. I mean, I've done everything. I'll do everything. I mean, I cleaned that kitchen and it was disgusting when we first bought it. It was inch and a half thick of grease, and I literally brought in a scraper and scraped it all out myself. When I'm into something, I'm into something 100%. I'm going to give it my all.
Yeah, you can't do something half-assed.
No, I can't. I've never wanted to do it.
It's good to not be wired that way, because if you could do something full throttle, I'm wired that way. When I think I just do, and that's just
I do it until it's done.
Yeah.
I get it done until it's done.
Yeah.
And I'll continue to do it until it's done correctly.
Love it.
And then I want to teach others to follow my lead, to understand that if they can't do it, I guarantee you're going to learn how to do it. And once you learn how to do it, it's like, just continue doing that exact same.
Yeah.
If you have consistency is what gets things through life.
Yeah,
in everything.
100%.
In everything. I mean, not just as a fighter, as a businessman, you got to be consistent on things. You got to be, doing things with your name and your word. I mean,
that's everything right there,
everything.
Right?
I worked for Donald Trump on Celebrity Apprentice. He told me those are the two things you'll have for the rest of your life, and nothing can change. Don't tarnish your name, and always keep your word.
I forgot about that Celebrity Apprentice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember that.
I've known him since 2001.
Yeah.
I fought at his casino at Trump Taj Mahal. I won my world title. 2000. Won my first world title there. Yep, at the Trump Taj Mahal.
Wasn't there going to be a fight? Was there a UFC fight supposed to be at held by Trump? What was the recent
at the White House?
Yeah. Is it really? Is that going to happen?
Yeah. Yep. It's going to happen. Actually, Dana, I think, he's working on the details right now.
Wow.
I mean, I'm just not a messenger. I've been reading a lot of stuff, but I think that's what it is. They're going to do it. They're doing it next 4th of July, on 4th of July, on Independence Day.
Man, that's crazy.
That's huge. I mean, I was the first main event at the Trump Taj Mahal. Fast forwarded 26 years later, now they're having it at the White House as our president is Donald J. Trump.
Man.
I'm invited.
Hint. So I'm going to talk about a couple names of some fighters. Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Slice.
Did you know Kimbo Slice?
I did not know him. I met him
see him die
once.
so young. Not young, but as a fighter, he was kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, I know he was from Miami. Did
bare knuckles,
street fight and stuff. And then he did The Ultimate Fighter, and people got to kind of see who Kimbo was.
Yeah. He did fairly okay for stepping in the ring. He was good in the streets, for sure.
Yeah, good in the streets. I mean, MMA is a totally different animal.
100%, yeah.
I
don't know what he would have done.
Decent guys. I mean, he did well. I mean, he did pretty well. Yeah. But just when he fought guys that were just very well-rounded.
He would be in trouble.
He was in trouble. Yeah. He got in a lot of trouble.
How about guys like Chemo? Remember Chemo from back in the day?
I've known Chemo. I've known Chemo for a long time. I know since when he fought in the UFC.
Yeah.
He actually is from Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
God, I haven't talked to him in a long time. I think I talked to him maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And people go through problems and they just can't figure them out.
I remember he carried the cross into the ring. I thought that was always pretty cool. This guy's going to kill somebody today. He was fun to watch.
Yeah.
But as fighting progressed, a lot of the
I trained with him. I trained with him when I was the champ, and he was like, "Dude, you were so damn strong." I was like, I got the better of him. He was a really, really, really good dude, though. Yeah. Really, really good.
It seemed like it. He was a big guy, too, right?
Awesome guy, though, man. His personality, just the way he was very respectful. Yeah. Very good guy.
And then the last one, Tank Abbott. I got to tell you, I watched every UFC fight. It was fun really fun in the beginning, tournament style. But then he became an announcer, right? And I'd hear him talking about the fighters. And then they would say, all right, well, let's fight. And he would get beat all the time, And I watch his stuff today, and I'm like, I wonder what Tito's take is on Tank Abbott. Because it seems like he's just...
He was the high school bully. That's who he was.
Yeah.
And if you stood up to the high school bully, you do okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bash him because he gave me an opportunity to fight in the UFC.
Yeah, in the beginning.
I was his training partner.
Sure.
I have nothing bad to say about him. I wish nothing but good for him. He gave me an opportunity, and that opportunity, I took advantage of it, and I made the best that I possibly could be. But he never wanted to train hard. That was his problem. He didn't want to train hard.
Is he one of those guys that you would like to go back and just get in the ring with one time and just...
We'd beat on each other all the time.
Yeah.
it never really passed my mind like that. No, they tried to say something a long time ago about it. I was like, he's not on my level.
Yeah. That's good. Just put it aside.
I don't need a cloud about it. Tank had his time in the limelight, and he's a lot older than me. And, I think he's a lot older than Shamrock, and Shamrock is the oldest guy that I fought. And at that time, to me, it was behind me. It was less of me, and I shouldn't stoop down, and I should always just think of being the best.
Rise up.
Yep.
Rise up. I remember seeing a video of Shamrock, and I believe he talked about the fight with you guys and your relationship and everything. And it seemed like a natural, just, hey man, he beat me. He just didn't. It was almost like he said positive things, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. He
Same. Like I say, I'm thankful that he was able to bring the best out of me.
Made you your best.
He did. He made me. I was not going to lose.
Yeah.
I did everything in my power. I didn't take any shortcuts. Camps are hard. I'd push myself. I'd get up. My legs would be so sore. I'd get up on the side of the bed going, why am I doing this? Oh, yeah, you don't want to lose. Get up and go and do it. And that's literally click like that.
Yeah. Last topic today, Jenna Jameson, right? So what was it like at that time? Because, you were the name, right? And so was she. Being an adult film star, you guys were both a celebrity couple at the time when you first started being with each other. What was it like during those times, like going out with her and the things that she was exposed to,
Well, it wasn't what people thought it was. At that time, she was married to her ex-husband at the time, and she was getting a divorce. She retired from the adult film business, and I'm not going to judge on somebody's past. I just want to see what type of person they were.
Yeah.
Awesome person, smart, authentic, beautiful. Like, I fell in love with the woman. Like, I would do anything for her. I would kill somebody for her.
Sure.
I literally had that much love for her.
Yeah.
Because it was something that needed to be saved. But I come to realize you can't save somebody who doesn't want to save themselves.
Yeah.
Everything was normal. She'd get jealous when girls would come around me. It was a normal situation.
You wouldn't think that. I would be thinking more for you because of her, her job, right?
Yeah, but once again, her job, all the movies she did, like the 10 years before that, it was always with her husband.
Yeah.
She made money off. She was smart. She understood how to sign other girls and have such a big business. But once again, at that time, was it the devil trying to grab me? That's what I think about.
Yeah.
And it makes me think even more about it. It's like how close I was to getting pulled off the other side. And I got saved.
Devil had you by one leg at that point.
Yeah.
And you powered through it, man. Said, I don't want to do this.
And I had to go through what my mother went through. And my mother loved my father like nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever she'd ever loved. And she left my father when I was 13. I know it was hard for her because I had felt that same, I had that same feeling. I was like, am I going to let history repeat itself, or am I going to do what my mother did?
Yeah.
And I tell my mom, I'm thankful for what you did, because if it wasn't for what you did, I would not be able to get through what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
And I remember.
So you got out.
I got out.
They had to bring you right down with her.
I called my attorney, and I remember her telling me, a year to date, you're going to be calling me and thanking me that you're making a decision right now.
Yeah.
Because Tito, it's going to be really hard. Really, really hard. And it was hard. It was the hardest thing in the world.
I can only imagine.
It was so hard.
But
I remember a year to date, I called her. I have full custody of my children. And I told her, I go, Deanne, thank you very much. She goes, what are you talking about?
Is that her name, Deanne?
Yeah. And I go, you remember when you told me that a year to date, I'd be calling you saying thank you? You changed my life.
Yeah.
My life is better now. I can see past all the bullshit, all the traumatic drama, everything that I went through. It's gone. It's no longer there. But I got two beautiful things out of the deal. Two beautiful boys.
Yeah.
And they're my boys. And I'm going to raise them the right way. I'm not going to raise them with no bullshit around. And that's when me and Amber got together, and the rest is history, man.
It took off, yeah.
It's a blessing. It has been a blessing.
During the beginning phases of all that, it's got to be hard. That's the first thing we think of as guys, right? Who our girlfriends are with or who their ex-boyfriends are, we always look at who they were with, right? And it's got to be hard. Obviously, in that, I always think of the guys, right? Could you date someone that was an adult film star, right? It had to be a little tough. I think for me, it might be tougher than it was.
Once again, I can't judge on somebody of their past.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because was she done at that point?
Yeah, she was retired.
So she was done.
She retired. Yeah, and like I said, I can't judge anybody. The only person to judge anybody is God.
That's good that she was done with all that.
That's one of the reasons why we continue.
Yeah, because I don't think that would have worked.
No, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. Yeah. That's one thing I'm not doing.
For sure.
I'm very jealous. I'm secure with myself. The person I am, I'm secure. But if somebody puts their hands on my woman, fucking, I'm an animal.
Yeah.
I'm going to jail.
They're bringing out the fighter that you were in Shamrock, Tito. You don't want that.
With my wife, Amber, I've had one situation happen in Vegas. Didn't have to put my hands on him. I stood right to face. You're fucking with the wrong person right now. Stepped away from my wife. It'd be a good idea.
Just
for
the
you.
look.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
That's all it ever takes.
Yeah.
And they realize, they're like, I'm very sorry. Never happen again. Walk away.
Done.
Then that's it. That's all it should be. I don't ever want it to have to assault somebody. I don't.
Yeah.
But if I do, it's out of complete defense. If I do,
yeah.
I'm not a vicious person. Like I said in the beginning, I never liked to fight. I'm very competitive. I love to compete. I'll compete on everything I do, all the way from going to back streets of playing pool, darts, foosball at number 3 beer and craft beers in Cape Coral. I'm competitive everything I do. I love it. It's fun. I love to compete. I like to make myself better at everything I do. Down to be in the restaurant. I never knew how to run a restaurant. Now I know from the front to the back of the house. Looking on doing my second one, probably in Naples. I'm very competitive in everything I do because I want to better myself and show my children that it's possible.
Yeah, learn new things and just be good at them.
And then have an open mind.
Yeah.
Open mind. Question everything. Yeah. Don't listen to somebody and think that's the right way.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to question it. You got to look at history, and you got to see what's true and what's not.
I like the pool thing you're talking about. Next time, invite me sometime. Okay, I like that. That's a fun time. Just to go play pool.
I should stick a lot. We do go play on Friday and Saturday nights.
I did that for a while. That was a lot of fun.
It is.
Pool and darts.
Yes.
Pool's fun. As a matter of fact, we stayed at a place in North Carolina, and there was a pool table downstairs. And I said, I will beat any of you guys. Let's go downstairs and play pool. It was fun because I taught them how to play pool and everything.
Yeah.
But when they're kids, they shoot like this.
Yeah.
Right? They want to hit it as hard as they can. I said, buddy, it's real simple. Just put your hand on the table, and I got them to be pretty good. It's a fun game.
That's cool.
But as far as that whole world, I mean, Hugh Hefner and all that. Have you been to the Playboy?
Yeah, I've been to the mansion a bunch of times.
And
I mean, I was invited before that, before me and her met with each other.
What was that like?
A big party, just a big party.
Yeah,
a big party. There was nothing that was out of line. The security took care of a lot of things. It was fun. I mean, I was young at the time. You know, and once again, there's a lot of dark times there. But at the same time,
you try to get out of your head, right?
Yeah.
Until you come on my show, and I just bring them back in.
No, don't. It's. I live it. I live it. I think about it, and it was a learning process. Once again, you got to learn through things. It was a learning process for me, and living that close to Hollywood, being around that type of environment, it's a lot different than here.
Yeah.
I mean, living in Florida, living in Cape Coral. It's a little slower. It's nicer. People are amazing people. I mean, that's why I live here. I mean, being here after Hurricane Ian and helping and seeing a community come together, it made me feel like home.
Yeah.
Like it made me feel great. And don't get me wrong, Huntington Beach is a beautiful place. 2020 turned it upside down. Everybody showed their true colors. My true friends showed who their true friends were.
Yeah.
This whole political scrutiny of both sides, the left and the right, I never understood that.
Yeah.
To me, it's be conservative and love thy neighbor. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
I don't care if you want to dye your hair purple, whatever. With this whole woke agenda, stay away from my kids.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. Let my children be children. Let them have their innocence to them.
Sure.
Plain and simple. Don't. And schools are doing that in California. That's why I left.
I've never been there. California was like the mecca of all cool things when we were kids.
Yes,
right?
It was beautiful.
I was into skateboarding. I was into BMXing.
Tony Hawk. I know Tony Hawk.
Yeah. I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, man, I want to go to California because that's where it's at. I actually had a skateboard company for a little bit.
Okay.
This is back in 99, 2000, something like that. It was kind of cool. But I always want to go to California. That was like the spot to go.
Yeah, it's turned upside down since 2020. I mean, it got really bad at 2020. It started getting there, I think, by like 2017, 18. Started going worse and worse and worse. 2020 just made it go upside down.
Yeah.
Gavin Newsom, what he's done to that state is just, it's heartbreaking. DC got to that point, and just recently, Trump has helped out a lot with kind of making it a little safer for the community there, and that's how it should be.
Yeah.
Community should be safe where your kid can ride his bike to school and not worry about it getting stolen, people not getting robbed. I mean, a lot of things that are happening. But I think it really comes down to there needs to be a lot of more fathers in their homes with their children.
Yeah.
A lot of families that have that disconnect of the father and mother nuclear family is missing right now in this country, and I think it needs to come back again.
100%.
And the way to get that is bring God into their lives. I think this is my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's helped me a lot.
Well, you've taken your past and you've turned it around to be the best that you can be.
Yeah.
And fatherhood and life as a husband. I mean, you got a great relationship, and your wife. She does medical. Is she in the medical field?
Yeah, for skin. She does facials.
She has to meet my wife because my wife does. She has a spa.
Okay.
Jen. And Jen does injectable cosmetics, Botox, Juvederm. She does laser, skin care, all that stuff.
Cool.
So they have to meet each other.
Yes, no, that'd be cool.
But Tito, what's something that maybe somebody doesn't know about Tito Ortiz?
Something that, I don't know. I'm pretty open book.
Are you?
On all my podcasts and all my interviews, I do.
I've seen and I know. I realize you're into fishing now because I see you catching some big fish.
I'm a better fisherman than I've ever been a fighter. I love it so much. Gosh, some of the things I did. How supportive for our veterans and for our troops. I know a lot of people do know that, but the six times I've been over in Iraq, from the Kuwait border to the Turkish border. Visiting 19 FOBs each time, and seeing what we have that they don't have there.
Yeah.
People don't understand how good we have it in this country. And the kids who say F America and this is a horrible place to live, they need to go out of the country. They need to go to Iraq.
To see how bad things could be on the other side.
They need to go to Thailand. They need to go to other places. I've taken my kids to Thailand. I mean, they're like, Dad, the kids don't have clothes. I'm like, they can't afford it, son. They're like, what do you mean? And to explain that to them, they get so thankful to understand. Like in Mexico, I think of some of the crazy parts of Mexico, like Laredo, and we go to, Walmart, and we'll buy toothbrushes and deodorant and soap and like just necessities that a household needs.
Sure.
And we'll go give it for free to a small community that they have dirt roads, and we'll buy a couple soccer balls, and the kids are like, toothbrush.
Yeah.
And my kids are like, Dad, they don't want the soccer ball, they want the toothbrush.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why I tell you to brush your teeth. Now you understand.
That's every day of all day. Did you brush your teeth?
Yes.
Did you brush your teeth?
Yes. You just got to do it over and over. It's like a broken record, and it's just to make sure that they do it so it's automatic.
Yeah.
But I think for people that don't know the things I do is just the humanitarian stuff that I try to do, try to give back. It's important to me. I think I've been blessed for the stuff to be where I am today. I had 3 choices in life: dead, in prison, or where I am right now. And I'm very fortunate to be where I am right now because I've learned so much. I've learned so many things to make me a better man, to make me a better father, to make me a better husband, to be a better individual in this society.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to try to make with my boys.
Yeah.
Make a positive person to give back to society in a positive manner.
Yeah.
And it's important, really important.
For sure.
And I mean, that's why I support our veterans and our troops that fight for this country. Because if it wasn't for them, it would be just madness here. I don't want it to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't. I want to be happy.
It's important, though. See the other side, to appreciate what we have.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do.
It's nice not to look over your shoulder when you go to the bank. It's nice not to worry about your kids riding your bikes to school.
For sure.
It's nice not to worry about my wife going to the supermarket, going to the bank.
Yeah.
Here in Florida, as they say, you fuck around and you find out quick. I love it.
FOFO.
Yep, I love it.
That's right.
I love it.
Tito, what advice would you give, the young fighter or a person that just wants to grow up and go in the right path to figure out what life's all about and what they want to do?
Work hard and do it with the consistency. Look at your 5 friends, and that'll be your future. You'll have 2 things for the rest of your life: your word, your name. Never tarnish your name, and always keep your word. Make sure you work as hard as you possibly can, because you're not guaranteed tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do it honestly, do respectfully. One of the things I always do, a lot of interviews, a lot of podcast stuff I talk about, is looking in the mirror. Be responsible for your actions. If you need to question somebody, look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Question yourself.
Love it, man.
Yep.
That's great. It's great words from the wise from,
Thank you.
Tito Ortiz, man.
Thank you.
We grew up in a fun era, right? Where, you would wake up in the morning, have a bowl of cereal, watch the cartoon. Remember the UFC, the WWF cartoons?
Yep.
And if you missed it, you missed it. There was no Netflix. There was no rewind button. If you missed it, you missed it. And that was a fun time. And today, actually, what I do is I wrestle with the kids a little bit. We do the whole thing, right? My son, he thinks he's Roman Reigns. I'm always the Hulkster. We do the whole, the whole thing, which is a blast.
That's cool.
And I would say one of the funnest times was during that WrestleMania period where Ultimate Warrior and Hulk bumped into each other in the ring. Yeah. Remember that fight?
And they became friends.
And
Yeah.
And then they fought, right? They bumped into each other, and then they turned around, and it became, I think, WrestleMania 6 or one of those. Yeah. But just a real cool time in that era. It almost reminds me of the Ultimate Fighter with you and Shamrock. It changed. It saved the UFC. It changed things. But Rowdy Piper in the Piper's Pit was cool.
Yep.
Paul Orndorff. I mean, I remember the smell of the wrestling, just opening up the wrestling guys. It was a cool time, man.
It was a cool time. It was a really cool time. I like I say, I grew up on that. I was able to live that through UFC, but it was real, as in fighting wise.
Yeah.
Like there was no pull punches. And don't get me wrong, what WWE do, that is the hardest work. It's hard on their body. It's a grind. They do it 362 days a year. That stuff's hard.
Yeah. You see the pain they put themselves through too.
Yeah.
I mean, the opioid addiction and drugs some and the stuff. WWF or or
some of the stuff some of the
WCW
guys some of the guys did. It's just when you're taking that much damage, that much amount of time, you're just trying to fill a little void of happiness because maybe you've been away for so long, you've been on the road for so long, then you have injuries and you're trying to make sure you're able to wrestle the next day because all of a sudden you're cut if not. Things like that is just a little hard, I would imagine. When MMA was the same situation, is like I had to make sure I won. Like if I didn't win all the time, I'm not gonna have a contract anymore.
Yeah.
Like I'd be gone. And with those guys, it's just that's why you got to make a personality bigger than anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you could be a great personality and you could lose all the time. You could be the loser guy and people still love you.
That's right.
They chant about you. And I think that's one of the things that when you talked about Tank Abbott that I could take back that something that he told me a long time ago was make sure that they always remember you.
Yeah.
Even if it's boos or cheers. But when they say nothing, you better figure something out because that's when it's a problem. And that goes to professional wrestling because I watch some of the things that Hogan would say. And there's a thing on Vince McMahon that was on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that's when you needed to worry, when people stopped talking.
Yeah.
And I understood that in UFC. It was like, when people stopped talking about me, that's when it was a worry. So I always did something off the wall.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, every one of my fights, it was like I wear a different color. And they're like, what color is he going to wear next for his flame shorts?
Yeah.
But I always made it something interesting that was just, or what T-shirt I would wear after the fight was over.
Sure.
And
superstitious, routine.
Routine.
I mean, it's
cool,
just,
man. But it just gives someone like a question of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They want to hear a storyline. They want to hear something that brings an interest to them. And I think that's when they have the villains and as myself or, the pretty faces in WWE or WWF when I was a kid. You were that guy, you got to make sure you stick to be that guy. But when it was time to turn to either side, you better do it good. And I never really had the opportunity to turn into the pretty boy face. I was the face of the UFC in the beginning, but I was still a bad boy. I mean, I talked shit. I never talked about a person's family. I never told a lie. And I never talked about a country where the person was from. Those are my rules. That was like number one. Never talk about family. Don't ever do that. Don't talk about a person's country, because I'm going to go to that country one day. And never lie. Always tell the truth. I don't care how dead honest the truth is. Don't lie. And
well, that's what made you such a normal guy, is when you showed the other side. Like, hey, man, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
And I really, Tito, man, seriously, thanks for coming out today.
No, I appreciate it, man.
Really,
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it. I'll hopefully spend more time with you. I talked to you about maybe getting together for an event at your place.
Yep, we'll make that happen.
The message of the story today is I got a guy here today who's someone I looked up to. And in life, you have those people that you look up to and the people that they look up to, right? And it's this evolving door of just meeting people. And then you meet them and realize they're just normal people like yourself, just a little bigger, tougher.
I just worked my butt off to get where I am. I wasn't supposed to be where I am.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was. Maybe I was.
Right.
Maybe I was.
And, we're here today. And, a lot of times in life, the final message is that you have an upbringing that maybe not be the best upbringing, right? But you use that to fuel your fire to be the best that you can be, the best dad, the best husband. Sometimes, you might have been the best dad, but you didn't have the right wife now, and now you're complete. You got it all, right? And now it's all about staying healthy and just being just a good person, keep delivering their message. And for me, delivering the message to more people, the better. The more people you affect, the better. And that's what Tito's doing, is just affecting people in a positive way.
I think a lot of people don't understand that you're not alone.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people going through the same situations.
100%. When you hear it from some of the greats, it makes you realize, well, maybe my problems aren't so bad. Maybe these aren't big things. Maybe I can get over what I need to get over, no matter what that is. So great to have you out today, man.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed the show with Tito Ortiz today. I mean, again, awesome guy, normal guy, larger than life. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Podcast, JoePavichPodcast.com, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Want to thank my sponsors, Above and Beyond, Edwards Contracting Group, First Source Title. Hope you enjoy the show, guys. Tito, tell them about the restaurant. Tell them where they can come out and check out an awesome restaurant, by the way. If you guys haven't been to Tito's Cantina, it's a great place. I'm not just saying that because I got the guy here with me. We love it there. It's a cool vibe. You got cool art.
Yes.
You got awesome people working there. And you're supporting a local business. So
yeah, and Cape Coral, Florida, actually, Tito's Cantina. It's not just a bar; it's actually a restaurant, authentic Mexican food, Southern California, Mexico City style Mexican food. It's pretty damn authentic, and it's really good, all the way down to our margaritas. I have over 50 tequilas. Great food, great service, great drinks as always. And of course, we do all the UFC events there. And come on down, get an opportunity to win Tito's Cantina World Championship belt. We've had 6 world titles already, so you get an opportunity to win one. It's a raffle. We have fun. It's a good time. Of course, you can follow me on my social media. On Instagram, it's Tito Ortiz IG. Facebook, Tito Ortiz. Twitter, which is X, Tito Ortiz. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Hopefully this message touched a few of you guys. At the end of the day, we just try to be human and do the right thing and give glory to God. He'll help you.
Thanks, Tito. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
You're very welcome.
Great time, man.
Yes, sir.
Rise up, king. I'd rather build or destroy.